For this video, we are going to look at the Paratext menu bar, and we're going to start here on the left and go through this top menu bar to see if we can go through and look at each button to know what it does. So the first one is a back button, so it goes back to the previous reference that you were in. So I'm in Mark 16:17 right now, and it'll go back to the previous reference, Mark 9:9, and this is forward. So it goes forward to Mark 16:17 again. Now this down arrow also, it says you were in these references before. Would you like to go back to any of these? So this is a really helpful tool if you're jumping from reference to reference. Then you can go back to a specific reference. So say I was in Mark 9:9 previously and I'd like to go back to there. I can click on Mark 9:9. And I can go forward again in the same manner. Then this is the open tool. You can open different resources that you have already downloaded. So you can select and deselect the different types of resources at the top menu here. In order to install resources, you have to come up into this menu though, install. This is only to open resources that you've already downloaded. Save. This is to save your project that you've been working on. This is scroll group. Each of your windows are already automatically scroll group A. Now if you'd like to make something scroll group B so that it doesn't scroll with the rest of it, you can do that. So say I'm in my original text and I want to keep it here. I don't want it to scroll with this. So I might say, okay, make it scroll group B. So now you can see all of these marked as A, and this is marked as B. So now when I move from Mark 9:15 to say Mark 19, this one isn't going to move with it like it would normally. Now I can change it back easily by coming here to this window, click on it, scroll group A. This here changes the resource. So if I'm in the Greek or Hebrew, I can change it to another resource. The same thing here if I'm in the enhanced resource and RSV. It says you can change to a different resource. Same for this. If I'm in the handbook, I can change to a different type of resource. This is the book, chapter, and verse that you're in. Now I want you to practice something. So there's a shortcut. Control B is for book. So Control B, say Genesis, Gen, space, chapter 3, verse 1, space 1, enter. Okay, or if you want to go to Leviticus 2, Control B, LEV, space 2, space 5, enter. Or if you want to go to Exodus 6, Control B, EXO, space 6, enter. So I want you to practice that. Control B for book, space for chapter, space for verse. Control B, space, space. So practice that again and again. Control B, space, space. Okay. And you can go back or forward on these references. Okay, so now this this next one is if you're in different types of text. So if I'm in a paragraph, this will show paragraph. If I'm in a section heading, it'll show section heading. If I'm in a chapter, it'll show chapter, and so on. So the next one is cut, copy, paste. Cut, copy, paste. These are when you're editing your text and you want to delete something and copy it, paste it somewhere else, okay? So if you cut it, you're not just cutting it, you're also copying it, okay? So if you want to cut and copy, you can cut, paste, okay? So the shortcuts for these are Control X for cut, Control X, Control C for copy, Control C for copy, and Control V for paste. Control V. And I remember Control V because the V looks like a down arrow and you can put it down. Put it down. The V, the down arrow. Okay. The next one is called find. Find, and that's Control F. Find, Control F. And if you hit the Control F, then you can search for a word. So Control F, you can search, you can type in a word and find a word. You can also select a word and hit Control F. You can also select a phrase. So say I want this phrase and click Control F. You can do the whole phrase. Now this also takes you to find and replace. Okay, so where you can replace it with another phrase. Okay, and then it takes you into the whole tool of replacing it phrase by phrase. Okay, so you have to be careful because when you're searching for these, you need to specify whether you're doing it in the current book, the current chapter, or all books, or you can choose which books you want to do it in, okay? So you can specify in this window. Cancel. The next thing is called spell check, okay? This is a tool that you turn on or off. So you click on or off, okay? If you turn it on, it'll check the spelling of your document, and then it'll underline the words that it thinks are misspelled, okay? So when you are looking at words that are possibly misspelled, please don't just change the spelling. I want you to right-click the word and then choose either from the list or type in the right spelling where it says unknown spelling. Okay, so either choose from the list or type in the right spelling and click OK. All right. Then the next one is called open source language text. This is the Hebrew and the Greek. You'll always be able to open it from that button. So if you don't want it open on your screen, you don't have to open it. That way, anytime you need a word checked, you can just click on that button. It'll open it, and you can close it, and then anytime you need it, you can just click on it, okay? Then the next one is called parallel passages. This means that in anywhere in the Bible that this passage has a copy or is similar to another passage, it will mark it here in the parallel passages. So if I click here, it shows that this Exodus 1 has a parallel passage with Acts 7, and it shows the words that are matching. And if you're in team checking and you see that it is matched, then you click on this and you click checked, and it'll put a check mark there showing that you've checked the parallel passage. Okay, then the next thing is send and receive. This will do send and receive for all the books that you've specified in this. When you come into this send and receive, it shows which projects that you have marked for sending and receiving. This is more tedious, so don't come into here every time. Just mark which ones you want to do every time. And then when you're in your project, just click on this send and receive. And it's a quick way to do the send and receive for the same projects every time. Then this last one is Paratext Live. This is a good tool for when you're together as a team. Anytime you're team checking or consultant checking, this shows the work of anyone who is in Paratext Live. So if I click it and you click it and someone else clicks it, whoever is making changes will be able to see those changes right away as they're making those changes. So it's a powerful tool to see. Instead of having a projector, you can see it right away on your computer. And you don't have to ask if they've made the change or not. You can see it right away on your computer. So that's the menu for Paratext. And if you have any questions, please let me know, and hope that makes sense to you.